back to Hawk Talk. We're back with Coach Fleury in the softball locker room. Coach, it's been a successful homestand for you. You want to take the fans through what's been a successful past couple of games?
Yeah, we had the opportunity to play Valley City State here at home. We were scheduled for Saturday and Sunday. Unfortunately, due to weather, we were only able to get 2 games in on Saturday, but they're 2 huge conference wins for us. We came in as 1 in the conference. Valley City State was 2 in the conference, so kind of the weekend was going to be a determining factor who was going to take 1 and 2. And we came out strong in that first game. We went up 7-0 on them. We had a lot of momentum. We had opportunities to put the game away early. We didn't give Valley City State some credit. They were able to score 6 runs in 1 inning, but we held on to the lead. We scored another run, and we were able to win the first game 8-6. And then in the second game, it was a great battle back and forth. 1-1, 2-2. 3-2 them, and then in the bottom of the 7th inning we were able to win 4-3. So 2 big wins for us. Like I said, we would have liked to get 2 more games in on Saturday and Sunday, but due to weather didn't happen. It was a little cold and windy, so
sure.
Sometimes it's better not to play under those
North
conditions.
Dakota sometimes, I guess.
And then we played on a gorgeous Tuesday afternoon against Division II Black Hill State yesterday, and we kind of tried to do some different things, tried to get some momentum going into the weekend, and we were able to come up on top with 2 wins.
Now, in both of those sets of games, had one game each where we were kind of on top throughout, but then the comeback was needed in both games. So just talk about kind of the resilient approach the team's taken.
And I kind of talked to the team a little bit about, our focus. I think sometimes when you do get up on a team, a lot of runs, you might, kind of back down a little bit. Your focus isn't there. You kind of you don't have the same approach at bats. Pitchers kind of lose their focus in the mound. Instead of hitting their spots, they just start throwing the ball, thinking they're going to, throw by kids. So I think that was kind of our problem, was our lack of focus. We are a really young team, so I think a lot of us are kind of still learning, college softball and the way things go. And, you can beat a team 7-0, 7-1 the first game, and then turn around and they can beat you. And both teams, Valley City State and Black Hills, give them credit for not backing down. They still, came out and kept, grinding, and, they were able to get on top of us a couple games, and, but we were able to, fight back, and, obviously you don't want to be in those situations because sometimes it's too late, but, we found a way, and I think 3 games now to, come back from being down, and so we kind of know we can. Do we want to continue to do that? No, that's not our game plan, but it's good to see that we can come back from being down.
The other thing, after seeing the team play, it's pretty obvious that contributions up and down the lineup, up and down the rotation. There's certainly go-to players, but at the same time, you never know who's going to spark the rally. Talk about how the depth and the kind of scope of the team really creates a challenge for the opposition.
I don't know if it's just a challenge for the opposition or a challenge for me
Sure.
myself, but it is kind of exciting because on any given day, we have anybody that can, be our go-to, and it's, I think, still just trying to find their identity as an athlete, being so young. I know some of them aren't sure where they stand on the team and stuff, and we just keep telling them when they do have the opportunity to embrace it and just step up and want to be that one. And we have our returners who, I think we have a lot of consistency from, and like you said, that, they're kind of our go-tos, and they've stepped up huge for us. And we just hope our younger kids can see that how every time they come to the plate, or every time they're out on the field, or every time they're out on the mound, that, they want it, and they're going to take care of business. Where, like I said, I think, our younger kids are still learning and growing. So I think it's exciting for us that we do have so much depth, and we do have kids at any given time that can come up and make a big play for us or get a big hit for us.
Now, looking ahead, spent the last 2 weeks in Dickinson. The next couple of weeks you'll stay in North Dakota, but on the road. Talk a little bit about the upcoming series.
Yeah, we have a huge upcoming series against Mayville State, and if you look at their record, it doesn't kind of indicate that type of team they are. Early on, they put it to us on our first series of the year, and hopefully we can use that as some revenge. We can hopefully go in there with some intensity, some passion, and not wanting that to happen again, because those are the teams that are going to creep up on you, and we have to play one game at a time. We always tell them one game at a time, one game at a time, and they're going to be at home, they're going to be excited, they're going to want to beat us. So we just have to play our game, and hopefully we can continue to pitch the ball well, hit well, and play defense, and that's, I think, the biggest thing. And in yesterday's game, our pitchers, they gave up some hits. They gave up quite a few hits, more than we probably would like to see, but our defense was unbelievable, and I told them after the games that our defense really helped our pitchers, and that's what you need to win those big games.
Alrighty, best of luck, Coach.
Thank you.
We're back on Hawk Talk. We're joined by one of the softball players. Want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Brianna Grayson.
What position do you play and what year are you?
I'm a junior, and I'm either a catcher or I usually play first base a lot.
Alrighty, can you take us through kind of the season so far? Not the start I think the team wanted record-wise, but then really kind of grown into your own and having a lot of success as of late.
I feel like at the beginning it was a little rough because, like Flurry said, we are a brand new team, and there are a lot of new girls on the team, so we were pretty nervous in our first outing weekend when we played in the Dome. Was a little wake-up call for us.
Sure.
To realize, like, this is not who we are. Like, we need to, like, this is not who Dickinson is. Like, we know, and like the girls coming in, like, know, like, it's a high stepping stool that they're coming into. And
Now, you've kind of made the transition to one of the younger players into one of the vets, even though you're just a junior. What's that been like, and how have you kind of grown into that role on the team?
I was pretty nervous coming in as a freshman too.
Sure.
Coming into college, playing your first year, and starting was really tough. And it's just something that you're good at the sport. It's something that that you just have to keep going as much as you can.
Is it nice to be at home for a couple of weeks after all the...
It was so nice being home and not having to travel so many days and missing a lot of school and class.
Now, as we get into conference with the playing teams twice, even 4 times in a weekend, you kind of talk about how difficult it can be, like the Valley game where you're up 7-1, you got another game coming. Talk about how challenging it can be to play the same team 4 times, face that pitcher over and over, that dynamic.
I would say it's pretty tough. It's like you see the pitcher one time and you come and see the same pitcher again. It's like she could always do something different. Like, I feel like our pitchers do that. They could be, one pitcher could face the same team twice, and they, like, catching them, they'd bring something different. They
Sure.
would the second game than they would the first game. And it was tough, but at the same time, it's like sometimes you want to play a different team,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's like you're in there to win, like to play and to win, and it doesn't matter what the name across their chest is. It's just another game.
Now, in the Valley game, you had pretty important hit there to end, after to kind of capitalize on that comeback, finish it off. Talk about the team's kind of resiliency this year, especially in the North Star Conference. Been down a couple different games, but ultimately pulled out on top and able to stay atop the conference.
I feel like we weren't really getting hits at the beginning of the games when we needed to, and we did leave a lot of runners on base, and when we needed the hits, we weren't producing. But I feel like there's something with our team that if we're down, we will always come back and do whatever we possibly can to get that win across the board.
Now, after last year's deep postseason run, obviously that's kind of the carrot in front of the donkey that everyone's pushing for. Do you think that the dynamic and how this team's shaping up, do you think a run like that's possible with this squad?
Absolutely. I feel like, there's a lot of new girls coming in, and depending on, how far we get, there's always fresh girls that are on the bench that are willing to, go into a spot if we need them, and I feel like we get really far with that.
All right. Best of luck for the rest of the year. Thank you. Welcome back back to Hawk Talk. We're here with Coach Watson in the baseball locker room. Coach, take us through kind of the start of conference. We've had a pretty difficult slate with the reigning conference champions, team that's only lost 2 games prior to you playing them, and the newbies that are nationally ranked. So take us through how the Blue Hawks have handled that.
Well, starting off conference with Bellevue, who's currently ranked 3rd in the nation. I ended up playing 3 games instead of 4 due to weather. Played 3 7-inning games on one day. They're good. They got very good pitching. It was kind of a crappy day, I guess you could say. Wind was blowing and stuff. So, scoring, we didn't score in the first 2 games. I think they scored 6 and 4. And then in the third game, we were up 2-0 going in the bottom of the 6th, and saw that slip away and got beat 3-2. They're very good. They're very talented. And moving on to the second weekend with Mayville, it was I think the first time since 2009 that we won a series against Mayville in conference. So we took 3 out of 4 from them, which was great. It's great for our program, great for Dickinson State, just getting back onto that winning, being able to beat teams that you've struggled with. Sure. And that was before my time, since the last time that they had won. So that was great to see. And then last weekend, going to Jamestown, playing some tough conditions. We won 1 out of 4 games, but I feel at first game we let slip away. We got beat 9-6. I think we had 17 hits. We out-hit them. We had 4 costly errors that led to about 5 runs. And we left 14 guys on base. So, that one we let slip away, I feel. And I could, say the same thing about my players. They, absolutely feel that way too. I think I beat second, third game. But then the 4th game, we won 10-6. Jamestown was ranked 10th. Now they're ranked 9th. So we've played some pretty tough competition. In conference alone, not even counting our non-conference games down in Arizona, playing St. Cloud, which is number 1 in Division II NCAA, and Wayland Baptist out of Texas. They're top 25 now too, and so we played some pretty tough competition so far this year.
How do you think that kind of prepares the team for what's left of the conference slate, and as we get into that, also touch on the home games this weekend?
Well, it's I feel it's very beneficial, because obviously our goal is to to perform and to make the postseason, and with playing competition, that is very good, is only going to benefit us. Obviously it doesn't look good in the win-loss column, but playing the level of competition with some of those teams, is only going to benefit you in the long run. And leading into this weekend, we have Dakota State here Saturday and Sunday. Weather's changed again. Looks like it's going to be all right.
Just check that.
North Dakota weather. You got to check it every 15 minutes. It changes, but it's this big weekend for us. I feel that win against Jamestown, was huge. Especially, might have been the happiest I've ever been winning 1 out of 4 games, but because I know how important that is moving forward, and winning that last game, and just being able to focus up and get that huge win going into another very big weekend, at home against Dakota State, and they're playing some pretty good ball. They're ahead of us in conference. I think they're 6-6, but the fact of the matter is, we have to show up. We need to play our game. We need to execute offensively and defensively. And you look at the games that we've struggled in. We've kicked the ball around. We haven't pitched very well, and we didn't swing it very well. And to win consistently, you got to put together some pretty complete games, or as close to a complete game as you can. And I feel that we, over the course of the season, have been getting better. And it's this is kind of crunch time now with Dakota State. 4 games this weekend, then next weekend being back at home, for 4 games against Winnipeg. These are 8 huge games for us.
Now we would be remiss if we didn't mention some midweek success we've had with our dear friends over in Bismarck. Talk about taking 4 from Mary and what that does, both for your program and kind of the athletic program as a whole.
Well, that rivalry was way before my time, and I'm glad that we're able to play them again. It's been a few years and kind of hit and miss, and with us only being 100 miles away, it makes sense, and for us to be able to get 2 home, 2 away there is great. Especially midweek, so the kids aren't missing class as much, and but I enjoy winning games. I really don't care who it's against, but beating Mary and with the rivalry and stuff like that, it's great. It's great for our program, this university. But it's just a couple more wins. It helped us prepare, for our conference games, and and their coach Joel, he's a friend of mine. We get along great, and I'm just happy to have the opportunity to play them again, and hopefully it continues in the future. But it's like I said, for me, it's not we beat Mary. It's we played some pretty good ball and won 4 games. So like I said, I'm always happy with wins.
All right. Well, hopefully we can keep the wins coming, the home wins especially, in these next 8 games.
Yep.
Thank you, Coach.
All right. Thank you.
We're back on Hawk Talk with one of our baseball athletes. Want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Jake Ignite, outfielder.
Senior?
Yeah.
Correct. Alrighty. Take us through what's been a pretty long season so far.
Yeah.
You've had obviously the fall season, but into the spring, and how the team's kind of developed and kind of turned the corner, so to speak, as we've gotten into conference play with a tough conference slate to start.
I don't even know where to start. Well, it's been kind of an up and down kind of season so far. Fall we started off kind of 50-50,
Sure.
and we had some spots where we needed to fill, and then we had some guys come in the break, and I think we had a pretty good squad going, and it's just been kind of up and down. We got days where we can hit, and we got days where we can pitch, but we got to put it all together, and it's been kind of rough so far. But I think we're starting to figure it out here on the back half.
Now, this last time we played at home was against Mayville.
Mm-hmm.
Get some history with them,
Yeah.
even recent history, dating back to last year's conference championship.
Mm-hmm.
Weren't able to get over the hump there, but then taking 3 out of 4 from them. Talk about what that meant for the team and kind of how that showed the evolution of the squad.
Well, I think it helped out a lot because it felt good to get those wins back. Because then the conference tournament was kind of tough. Taking one in the first game of the championship series and then losing game 2 to lose the thing. So, but coming back and then taking 3 or 4 it felt good. It was nice.
Then in between, kind of throughout the year, we've played Mary on 2 different occasions. You're not a local,
Yeah.
so to speak. So maybe not too involved with that rivalry, but how did that feel to take 4 from them?
Yeah, it was cool. Every time we play them, it's kind of a little chipper back and forth,
Sure.
and to get those last couple wins is pretty fun.
Then that leads up to Jamestown, who's off to a
Yeah.
phenomenal start.
Yeah.
Only had 2 losses on the entire season, leading into going up there and playing them. Coach Watts kind of touched on letting one slip away there on the first day, but that second day, leaving with the win.
Yeah.
Touch on that series.
Leaving with the win was great. They came out hot. They can swing the bat, and they did their jobs, and they did their assignments and stuff. And they're a good ball club. I can't take anything away from them there. But we played in areas of the game where we could have been better, and I don't believe they're that much better than we are. So we'll see how it goes in the tournament if we say them again.
Now that leads up to a pretty long home stretch. 8 games at home.
Yeah.
Home games have been fun in the past.
Yeah.
Had some recent success there,
Yeah.
and also pretty good crowds, pretty exciting atmospheres. So what does it mean to be home again?
So it means everything. Going out, especially as a senior, having these last couple games at home, and then it just feels like it's almost over. So it's cool to have everybody that we know watching us play these last couple games as we're home. So cool.
Where do you see? How do you think that the team's gonna kind of currently right now? Obviously not where we want to be in the standings, but we've played the top competition in the conference, a lot of the great teams. So how do you feel that we can take advantage of these next 8 games at home to kind of reposition ourselves?
Right. Well, I feel real good about these next couple because it's the home crowd. We always play a lot better at home, because then we got all of our friends behind us and stuff, and the crowds here are great. Coming out and making a bunch of noise for us, so that's cool. And then I think talent-wise, we got a real good shot at winning out. So I think we'll be good in the standings.
Now, obviously last year caught fire,
Yeah.
especially after losing that first one in the conference tournament. So as kind of a senior, how do you kind of share that magic with the squad, and as you position you guys
Yeah.
for the postseason,
Right.
and then to make a similar run this year?
Well, it's a different kind of feeling in playoffs. It's just everything comes alive and people start playing to their abilities and stuff, and it all comes down to if you want it or you want to go home. So that's when it really turns on. And I think our team is really good at doing that. When the pressure's on, we kind of get the job done. So we'll see if they can do it again.
Sure. Now, as you mentioned, kind of last couple series at home here. So, kind of just take us through your journey as a baseball player and how you ended up here in Dickinson.
It's been a long journey, man. It's been a long one. Well, my junior college was fun. Played some pretty good ball there, and then went off to LC State. Just wasn't a fit for me, I guess.
Sure.
And then Watson called me up when I was a sophomore in my junior college, and so I just called him back today. He still wanted me to come out, and there it was. Not mad about it. I mean, this place got everything you need to be good. So, I mean, you just really got to apply yourself. So,
Absolutely.
Not upset with the situation at all.
Great. Well, best of luck
Appreciate it.
upcoming weekends and in the conference tournament.
Right
Thanks
on.
for joining us.
Thanks.
Thank you.